A vernier caliper is an instrument which is most commonly used for a variety of exact measurements, which was not necessarily related to the engineering manufacturer. There are different types of vernier caliper used in the physics laboratory to measure lengths of small objects accurately, which could not have been possible with a meter scale. The main use of the vernier caliper is to measure the internal and external diameters of an object. The word caliper means any instrument with two jaws, which is used to determine the diameters of objects. In ancient China, the caliper was born without the beginning of scale. In 1631, French Pierre Vernier introduced a device to obtain accurate measurements required for scientific experiments. Parts of vernier caliper. The main parts of the vernier caliper are: main scale, vernier scale, thumb screw, lock screw, depth rod, fixed jaw, and sliding jaw. Vernier caliper consists of two steel rules and they can slide along with each other. One is a long rectangular metal strip that has a fixed jaw on one end. It is graduated in inches at its upper end and centimeter at its lower end, which is called the main scale. The main scale is marked on solid L-shaped frames, on which centimeters graduates are divided into 20 parts, so that a small division is equal to 0.05 centimeters. There is another small rectangular metal strip, which is graduated with a special relation to that of the main scale, which is called the vernier scale. It slides over this long metal strip, and it has a jaw similar to that of the main scale. There are two jaws on vernier caliper, upper jaw and lower jaw. These jaws together are used to hold the object firmly while measuring its length, which is not possible with a meter scale. The external or lower jaws are generally used to measure the diameter of a sphere or a cylinder. The internal jaws or upper jaws are generally used to measure the internal diameter of a hollow cylinder. There is also a metal strip attached at the back of the vernier calipers, which is used to measure the internal depth of a cylinder. The principle of the vernier caliper is when two scales or divisions, slightly different in size, then the difference between them is used to increase the accuracy measurement. A scale cannot measure objects which are smaller than 1 millimeter, but a vernier caliper can measure objects up to 1 millimeter. As already know that vernier caliper has two scales, the main scale and the vernier scale. Together this arrangement is used to measure very small lengths like 0.1 millimeters. Here the main scale has the least count of 1 millimeter, and vernier scale has the least count of 0.9 millimeters. So therefore, 10 unit of the main scale is 1 centimeter, whereas 10 unit of vernier scale is 0.9 millimeters. So this difference between the main scale and vernier scale, which is 0.1 millimeters, is the working principle of vernier caliper. Vernier caliper least count. The difference between the value of one main scale division and the value of one vernier scale division is known as the least count of the vernier. Least count of vernier caliper is the smallest value that we can measure from this device. To calculate the least count of vernier caliper is the value of one main scale division divided by the total number of division on the vernier scale. Let's assume if the value of one main scale division is 1 millimeter and the total number of division on vernier scale is 10 millimeters, then the least count will be 0.1 millimeters. Hence, least count is defined as the smallest distance that can be measured from an instrument. Vernier caliper zero error. Zero error in the vernier caliper is a mathematical error due to which the zero of the vernier scale does not coincide with the zero of the main scale. In other words, if the zero mark on the vernier scale doesn't coincide with the zero mark on the main scale, then the error that occurs is called zero error. They are of three types: no zero error, positive zero error, and negative zero error. In no zero error, when we bring two jaws together, you will see 0 of the main scale is coinciding with the 0 of the vernier scale. They are exactly in a straight line, so this vernier caliper is free from zero error. In positive zero error, the 0 of vernier scale is ahead or at the right side of main scale 0. The both cases are at zero error and it is positive. In negative zero error, we will bring the two jaws together. Here you can see 0 of vernier scale is the backside or to the left of main scale 0. In both cases, zero error is the negative error. There are different types of vernier caliper available. They are: 1. Flat edge vernier caliper. This type of vernier is used for normal functions. We can take outer measurement of a job's length, breadth, thickness, and diameter, etc. As the jig of its edge is of a special type, the inner measurement can also be taken with it. But from that measurement, the job's breadth has to be subtracted. This measurement is often written on the jaw, otherwise it should be measured with a micrometer. 2. Knife edge vernier caliper. The edge of this vernier caliper is like a knife, and it is used for measuring narrow space. Its main shortcoming is that, because of the thin edge of its jaw, it wears out quickly and starts giving inaccurate measurements. It should be used sparingly and carefully. 3. Flat and knife edge vernier caliper. Some companies also make vernier calipers, which have their jaw like an ordinary vernier caliper from one side, but have knife edge jaw at the other side. With this vernier caliper, all types of jobs can be measured easily. 4. Vernier gear tooth caliper. This is a special type of instrument, which is made, like a combined form, of two vernier calipers. It contains two separate scales, vertical and horizontal. With the vernier caliper, the thickness of a tooth of gear can be taken from its pitch circle. In other words, the vernier caliper is used to measure different parts of gear. 5. Vernier depth gauge. This instrument is used for measuring the depth of the slot of a job. Its reading is also taken in the same way, but instead of a jaw, a flat-shaped base is used in it. This depth gauge is made of a thin beam, like a narrow rule. Main scale and vernier scale are also an inches or metric system. Its speciality is that we can take measurements of various types. 6. Vernier height gauge. It is used for taking accurate measurement of height of a job or for marking. It is almost similar to vernier caliper, but it is used by attaching some additional attachments. Beam remains fitted on a base in length form. Offset scriber is fitted on the beam itself, with which height of a job is measured or marking is done. And 7. Vernier dial caliper. In ordinary vernier caliper, there are chances of mistakes as far as clear reading is concerned. For this purpose, nowadays vernier dial calipers are used. In place of the vernier scale, it contains a graduation dial. It can measure in inches, as well as in millimeters. Like a dial test indicator, rack and pinion are used in it. The rack remains on the main scale, which is connected to the pinion of the dial. That's it. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, then please share it with your friends. Subscribe